I can't tell the difference.
So a new Marvel hero means a new Marvel trailer. Well, I suppose it is a bit more of a teaser. As always, I'm Al, this is the Geek in Review, and I'm going to be talking about the Moon Knight trailer that's just dropped. So we got a bit more of a teaser last year with Disney Plus Day, but it didn't really tell us too much about what's going on in this show or who Moon Knight is. So I'm going to be taking a bit of a closer look in this episode, so it may contain spoilers depending on how Disney and Marvel go with it. So who exactly is Moon Knight? Well, he's definitely not one of the main A-list Marvel characters. He made his debut in 1975, and he's a character that's got several different personalities, which is why when we see him in this trailer, he's going by two different names and talking to himself in the mirror. Now the two personalities, or maybe the three that we see actually in the trailer, are Mark, Steven, and of course Khonshu, who's Moon Knight himself. In the comic books, Mark was a soldier and got the power of Khonshu after he discovered his temple and was left for dead there. Now what's interesting about the trailer is we don't really seem to see anything to do with his origin, so I think that'll probably be told in flashback, or he may even discover it himself. Because we haven't multiple personalities, and we do see this a couple of times in the trailer, he wakes up not knowing what he's doing. So he could have been Moon Knight for a while, and this is him just starting to realise it, and then we get to see that in flashbacks. But if we do get that, I don't think it'll land that well with a lot of fans, because the flashbacks in the Boba Fett show aren't going down particularly well. I think it's a bit of a case there of careful what you wish for. But yeah, in the trailer we see him struggling with his different personalities, so much so that he's chained himself to the bed when he goes to sleep. And if you notice, he's got a few different locks. He's got a padlock on there, and he's also got a combination lock, so maybe if one personality could get through one lock, they're not going to know the combination. This is why we see him talking to himself in the mirror so much, as this is the personalities talking to each other, much like the way that Dexter talked to Deb or Harry in the Dexter show, if you've been watching the latest run of that. I'm not exactly sold on Oscar Isaac's English accent. I can see a lot of people in America are saying it sounds really good, but to me it just sounds like Don Cheadle in the Ocean's films. It doesn't sound anything like a Cockney or anyone from London sounds like. I've certainly never met anyone that sounds like that other than Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins. But as long as the international market likes it, I suppose that's fine. So I also think this is going to be very much like Norman Osborn in the Spider-Man films, where the two sides of the various sides of the personalities are wrestling. So if you think of it a little bit like Norman Osborn in the Spider-Man films, when he's talking to himself, he's going to go in between the different personalities that are within him. And speaking of the personalities, one of them seems to spend a lot of time in museums, and that's Steven. Which, if you are paying attention to the Marvel franchise still, you notice the last time that we saw Dane Whitman at the end of the Eternals, that he was in what appeared to be a museum, with also Blade. And if you know anything about Moon Knight, you'll know about the Midnight Sun, so that's potentially huge. It does seem that Marvel are setting up new teams with these TV shows like the Dark Avengers, the New Avengers, and hopefully the Midnight Suns. We know we're getting a few characters in the MCU coming up that would fill out the Midnight Suns, and if we did get that, man, that would be amazing. I'm going to do a separate video on the Midnight Suns, but basically they're sort of like a dark, magical kind of Avengers, and they're absolutely, just crazy. But one of the criticisms I think this show is going to face is being dark and gritty. Because it's Disney Plus, it's not going to be dark and gritty enough, certainly not with the level of violence that people are expecting. The recent Batman films also got a bit of controversy because it's been rated PG-13 after all those trailers that we've seen, indicating it was going to be a lot more darker and violent than the PG-13 could pull off. So will Moon Knight be able to do this? We're going to have to wait to March the 30th. The trailer doesn't give too much away. We're still not really sure exactly what the story and the villain is going to be. By the looks of it, it's probably going to be Ethan Hawke, who is playing some sort of cult leader by the way that he's walking about and people are sort of prostrating in front of him. But like I say, Moon Knight is definitely not a very... Well, not that he's not popular, he's been around for almost 40 years, but he's definitely not like an Iron Man or Captain America. There aren't that huge volume of fans out there. And because of the Batman comparison, because one of the personalities that inhabits the body is a millionaire, it'll be interesting to see how they're going to do this and if they're going to lean into it or shy away from it. The really exciting thing for me in this show is what it's going to set up. With Wanda, Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier last year, these all ended with setups for the next stage in the property, whether it be Multiverse of Madness or anything else. So this could take Marvel in a very dark, magical, mystical direction, and I do think the three sort of angles that Marvel is going for now is the multiverse, magic and space. So this could really fill out the magic side of it if they're going to focus Doctor Strange on the multiverse side of it. These are just some of my thoughts. I'm really liking the trailer. I wish we did get to see a little bit more about how this character in the universe works. And as always, I want to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments below, or you can follow me on Twitter at The Geeks Reviews. Are you looking forward to this show? What did you think of the trailer? Let me know. As always, I'm Al, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please leave a like in the video and subscribe as well. I'm going to be posting more stuff about The Expanse and Boba Fett over the week, so make sure you've got notifications on so you don't miss out on that. And thanks for watching.